everybody. My name's Craig.
I'm Brian.
I'm Burke.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is Get Dunked On, the podcast.
Pop it. Twist it.
Twist. Punch it. Yank it.
Throw it on the ground. Stomp on it.
Whoa. Spit in its face.
Please. Give me your money.
Call the cops. No, you don't. Don't run. Wow, this turned dark.
That was really vicious real quick.
Wow.
I mean, I started off with the harmless little jingle from a commercial, and you guys took this to a whole other place.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, well,
I gotta say that was the most musical one you've ever done, Brian. It sounded
so?
beautiful.
Yeah, you like
you
that?
were pitch perfect, actually.
Little known fact: I am actually the voice actor who does all those commercials.
When you were 7?
Which is why. Well, no, that's just it. I was able to deepen my voice through my voice acting skills, Burke. Duh. All right, so. No. Well, I mean, speaking of kids, actually, this kind of reminds me something funny that happened this last weekend. I had I didn't have it. My parents decided to have my little cousins over to their house to go ice fishing. So they live on a lake. So we were, they wanted to go out ice fishing. And so I was talking to my mom about it, and I go, "Hey, do the boys even like to ice fish or ice skate or anything like that?" She goes, "Well, I think it's going to be more ice fishing and because I don't know if they even own ice skates." And I was like, "Well, why did you invite them over to ice skate then?" It's like, "Well, I just thought it'd be fun since we have a lake." I'm like, okay. So the kids show up. They have nothing, of course. So my brother has to come with literally sleds full of just ice fishing equipment. So I'm talking, we have tip ups. You got the stuff to drill the holes. You got the shanties. You got all this stuff. So
what is ice fishing?
Oh, it's like regular fishing, except for you're cold while doing it.
It's like, wait, what's ice?
So you said he brought sleds of stuff too?
Well, you carry it in a sled.
That's a northern unit of measure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. No, but you just carry it in a sled. But it's basically you put all your stuff into a giant sled and you pull it over the snow because obviously you don't want to try to sit there and throw it on your back because it's way too much stuff and it's way too heavy.
Foreign to me. I'm imagining this. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, have you ever seen the beginning of Frozen where the men of the lake, are all chopping up ice blocks? It's a lot like that, except for
okay. No, I've seen that, but it's just it's so foreign. Even living here because when it does snow, it melts in 5 days. So. No, it's quite cold here. It's quite cold. But the point is that the kids come over. And they go out and they're like, my brother shows them the ropes because this is their second time ever ice fishing ever in their lives. Their ages are 7, 11, and 13. So, that's the age kind of range that we're looking at. The 7-year-old immediately is just not having it. He's just he's literally just doing snow angels. He's like, wee, sliding face first across the ice, and we're like, okay, here's how to bait the hook. Here's how to do this, and I'm just watching. I'm actually watching Mike do it, and I'm like, okay, I'm learning stuff for myself here actually. But the point is that we finally, after probably no joke, over an hour of setup on all the tip-ups and the shanties and everything else, we finally sit down in the shanty. Now, the shanties are warm. I will tell you that. They have little heaters in and stuff. We're sitting there for no longer than 3 minutes. And the youngest one is like, well, this is kind of stupid. You want to go inside and play video games? And I'm like, well, the whole point of this is to be out here fishing. We can't do that. I'm like, why don't you look outside and look at the tip-ups? He looks at the tip-ups. Nope, they're all still down. He's like, I'm just going to go outside. And he goes outside of the shanty. He starts wandering around talking to all the other people that are out there. 2 minutes later, his dad says, you can just go in, right? And I swear to God, this is true. He yells at the top of his lungs, just like the end of Braveheart. He goes, freedom! And he runs up to the house. And I'm like, and I was like, man, that would be Craig. That would be Craig in this situation.
That would have been me before the setup was done. We're going to set up an hour's worth of stuff to sit here and then not fish actively.
No, you do fish actively after the stuff's set up.
No, I'm pretty sure you said tip-ups, which means you put the thing in there and you just sit there and wait and watch.
No, but when you're in the shanty, you're fishing in your own home.
No, dang it. Glare.
When you're in the shanty, you fish, like actually active fishing, but then you have the tip ups working for you as well.
If other people enjoy fishing, that's absolutely fine. I get so fucking bored. That and hunting both. Like my grandpa tried to get me to do both, and it was just, he was like, this is fucking stupid, because I just was like, I don't have the patience to sit here and do this. I don't have the will to actually do it in the first place. And then you're asking me to have the patience for something I don't have the will to do. It's like, it's like, Brian, you need to wait. And then overpay for a gym membership. Wait an hour in line to overpay for a gym membership. You're like, no, I'm getting the fuck out of here. There's nothing here for me. That's how it feels.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. But now I will say this though. Well, I will say this: the two older ones, we were in the shanty together, and we spent the time out there basically. We had brought food down, so we probably shouldn't have, but we were sitting there eating, we were fishing, we were laughing and telling jokes. The oldest one is playing his very first Pokemon game. He's 13 years old. It's his first Pokemon game. It's Ultra Sun, and he's like, so what are the status condition things do? Like, what does burn mean? And I'm like, oh, good questions. and I traded him a Snorlax, and we're sitting there having a good time and laughing and stuff. So I mean, fishing can be fun, guys.
I agree. So I have a question just regarding this whole fishing thing. Since y'all are on y'all's own lake, do you have to have a fishing license and all that stuff?
If it's a private lake, like we were on, no. If it's a public lake, absolutely. I'd say DNR comes out, they'll confiscate everything.
That's what I was curious. I was like, because I knew Mike would probably have a license, but I didn't figure you would.
So okay, cool. Jokes on you. I actually get a fishing license every year. I no joke, in the spring and stuff, because I go out fishing with my dad out in big waters.
Did you say they come out with a DMR and confiscate your stuff?
Yes.
They come out and point a gun at you like a high-powered rifle?
In fact, they go into 2558 or whatever the shit and get it from Master Chief himself.
I'm sure there's a DMR in 2558. I'm almost positive.
I think that was the
interesting.
Yeah, but
because I'm actually probably going to get a fishing license this year.
It's easy.
I'm not worried about it here, but because when I go camping, I want to be able to fish, and get fish in the lakes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is how getting the license goes. You go up there and you're like, I want a license to fish, and they go, okay, so you're wanting this license right here, and you're like, yep. They go, really? You go, yep, and they're like, all right. Another weirdo here, Pat.
Dang it! It's like $30 and you're set for a year. It's great.
Yeah, I think it's like 25 here.
It's cheap.
I might have to pay a little bit extra just for my first time. It depends what you're fishing
for too, and all that. But yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool though.
It's a cheap membership. It's a cheap membership for a whole year. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh,
you know totally. It's not cheap memberships. The membership you should have gotten, Brian, the gym membership.
Oh, and my gym membership's pretty cheap.
No, I said the one you should have gotten.
Oh, should have gotten.
You should have went and got and did the whole other gym, the one that's a lot more expensive than the one you do. That's the one you should have done, Brian.
Because that's the only one you're going to get swole at.
Yeah,
that's the only true. One. That's true. You got to get shredded.
Yeah, that's the only one that actually has licenses to get shredded is at that gym. Like you have to go apply for licenses elsewhere as well, but they take so long. There's red tape.
Would you rather be swole, buff, or shredded? Because those are three separate categories. What would you rather be?
Yes. I don't know the difference.
I was going to say, you actually have to explain the difference between swole. What was the swole and shredded? Swole and shredded. Swole just seems like you're puffy.
It is, yeah.
Shredded would be that seems like you don't have a lot of
shredded
fat
is no fat content. Right.
Like a six pack.
I don't remember. It was like buff or something like that, but like which is just you being
it
like
seems
just
like in a middle ground. Like buff seems like
kind of like a middle ground strong or something.
And then like ripped seems like it would be like more
ripped and shredded are pretty close.
No, I would say ripped isn't towards shredded. Shredded's down the line. Shredded's that's a very strong fucking word. Like you're ripped is like ripped, but like shredded.
So like a 5% body fat to like a 1% almost.
I'm not sure. I can't tell. It's like infinity. I can't tell you the exact like amount, but I can tell you the direction it's going.
Okay.
That's it.
Can you give me a visual cue?
Shredded's all the way down.
So what are bodybuilders?
Oh, bodybuilders are they would be considered to be I would say
Are
bodybuilders
you
like
talking, okay, the ones that are going for like being the strongest person, or the one that has
No.
Okay,
like the
bodybuilders
shows where they're
shredded.
Where they go to the shows.
that would be ripped to shredded. The
Yeah,
people
ripped
that
to
don't do
shredded.
very well are
Okay.
probably ripped, and then the people that win are the shredded ones.
Okay.
I want to apologize to the person that requested this topic. You picked the wrong people.
Oh yeah, this was user requested, wasn't it?
yeah, it is.
Yes, it
Yes,
was.
it was.
We were going to talk about working out tonight.
yes,
If you didn't know.
yes,
And it was a user request.
it's a
so, yeah.
user request. Finally, it's it's been asking
Listener
for
request,
for a
whatever.
while, and we were like, oh crap, yes, let's get on that. So we jumped on it, and now you guys are going to hear all about our amazing workout strategies. We're going to go down the line, talk about our favorite ways to get ripped, shredded, and swole.
Oh, totally.
This is gonna be
Totally.
embarrassing.
So okay, let's do this though. Let's start off with something kind of simple. Has anybody here ever been to a gym? Let's start with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
We've all been so we've all been to a gym. I know in previous podcasts we've had different stories about how we feel about going to the gym. I remember, Craig, you were in fact a member at a health club at one point. Are you still a member of that same health club?
I can get into that story if you want me to.
Oh God, did I touch a
I'm not
nerve?
I'm not supposed to be, but I just found out in the last week or two that they're still charging me, and I didn't realize it's on an old credit card, and we canceled it in not the credit card, we canceled the membership in June. But it's on the old credit card that we don't use, and I wasn't going to go switch the credit card to then just cancel it. So I was like, oh, just don't change your credit card, just cancel the account.
Yeah.
The guy's like, okay, yeah, this is really cool.
No problem,
yeah, so
bro.
we'll do it. Yeah, so you're breaking contracts, so you have to pay money on that, but it was like less than the cost of another month of membership. Where I was like, yeah,
Sure.
I don't care, get rid of it, otherwise I'm going to pay more money. And he's like, cool, sign all this paperwork. And he goes, all right, so what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you date this for tomorrow, because tomorrow, and he's looking at my account, and it was true because I was looking at the paperwork too. He goes, if you delay by tomorrow, it'll save yourself $10, because it'll be $10 cheaper because you went another month into your membership. It'll reset the clock and you'll actually save $10. I go, okay. I was like, well, I just want to let you know, like, yes, I do want to save the $10, and I really appreciate you saying you'll be able to do this. My main goal is to have this thing canceled, though. Like, that's what my main goal is for my membership to be canceled. And he's like, dude, don't worry, I got it. And I was like, is this like a normal thing you guys do? And he's like, well, this is only like my second week here, so this should be fine. I was like, all right, man, thanks. I'll call him Bob. I was like, thanks, Bob, I really appreciate it, that's really cool. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. And
Should have worried about it, Craig.
I should have worried about it, because I went back the other night and we randomly will have like other charges on our credit card that are things that we just forgot to switch over.
Sure.
Things that we don't use often, like some account that's hooked in somewhere or something like that. And so every once in a while I go in there and check. It's set to automatically pay off, so we don't like get way behind and interest builds up. But at max, it's like maybe $150 in a whole month gets charged to that card.
Okay.
And I never actually like look to see what's on there very much. I click on it once and then look to see what the top thing is. And it's always been like crap that Sarah and I have went like, oh, whoops, we didn't switch this off. And I finally looked at it the other day. I was like, what the hell? Why is this? Why do we have money on this? We haven't done anything on this account in a long time. I looked and it's like, oh, health club that you're still attached to. And I went back to all the months.
God.
It's the only thing like on the last 3 months. And they've been charging us $90 for us not to do anything.
Wow.
Oh my
That's
God.
super. I'm gonna go in there. I don't have time, but I need to go in there. I should try and go tomorrow. I'm gonna try and go in there and be like, "What the hell, dude? Like, you guys said," and I paid the fee to cancel too. That's the thing that bugs me is I paid the fee to cancel.
It
I'm
shows it.
still
Yeah.
paying the other parts. So I was
Yeah.
like, this is stupid.
We'll
Anyways,
refund you.
yeah. So I was a part of a health club. Back to your original question.
The reason I bring that up is that we've all been gone to a gym at some point, but the topic of today is not just working out; it's fitness in general. So, we might not go to a gym consistently, but maybe you do what Burke does and go climb a mountain and hike, or go running or something like that. So, I figured we'd start off by kind of talking about our personal experiences, some things that we still do or used to do or whatever in different times in our lives. And then kind of we can go deep diving a little bit more as we go, because I'd like to touch on a few topics throughout the course of today. So, would anyone like to jump in first?
Mine's gonna be depressing, but I can start. Go ahead, Burke. Yours is gonna be better.
I don't know about that. Like, so okay. So like, what exactly are you asking? Like workout stories or just?
I mean, it could be a workout story, or it could be just like, what's your personal history with that kind of thing?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, so back in high school, like I didn't go to the gym, but I did a lot of activities and whatnot, and so I was not ripped. I never had a 6-pack or anything, but I was in great shape, low body fat content, like, just good shit like that. So, fast forward a couple years, I was in college, gained a bunch of weight. Thanks, Craig. And no, shit.
Bad influence, guys. I'm just telling you now.
Yeah. And so, whatever. And so I get a job working in a sheet metal shop. I'm sure I've told this story before, right? Fucking hot as balls in Houston, just miserable, not air conditioned, 100-degree, 100% humidity.
The place where you
days.
cut yourself on day one, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So what I would do at that shop is a buddy got me, who's now a police officer, and he's probably the most ripped police officer freaking ever. And like, dude, it's ridiculous. And he was the one who got me the job. I was like, sure, whatever. And because of that, like, I got in good with the owner. So I was working 10 hours, 11 hours a day at the sheet metal shop, lifting heavy shit, getting really, really strong just doing that. And then we would leave that place and go straight to the gym.
Oh, snap.
And like maybe a protein shake on the way there. And like, so literally like 12 hours a day, sometimes 13, I was working out, doing something. Needless to say, that was probably the best shape of my life I've ever been in. Just because, he had a routine and I would follow it. And like, it's like, I got really, really fucking strong. It's like probably the only time in my life I could do pull-ups, like 20 plus pull-ups, like in one stretch with weight. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is nice. And then I got a desk job and lost it all. Like my wife tried to get me to go once to a membership to the same gym that I used to go to with him. And I'm like, I went probably 3 times. So I'm like, I can't fucking do this. This is just miserable. Like, so that's
just a bad experience.
Yeah. I just don't like gyms. Like if I want to do something like you said, I'll go out. I need a sport, or I need, like hiking or snowboarding, like something like that is not just mindless repetition. Like
that makes sense.
I don't like that. Like, yeah, like, if there was a goal, like if I was like an athlete, yeah, like working out towards a goal, yeah, that's one thing. But like for just day to day, yeah, I'm going to the gym so I'm not fat. There is no motivation in that for me at all.
It's actually, I'm glad you touched on that one thing in there, Burke. I think that this is something I'd like to kind of stick on, a lot as we go forward. But having that reason, that motivation necessary, or something like that, I think is a big thing, and I think that's actually a driving force for the people who consistently go and want to do that kind of thing, and the people who don't, and not because it's bad to not go or whatever, but because like. Usually if you're going consistently, there's a direct reason to go, whether it be a sport or or whatever, a driving force of some kind. So yeah, I get that. Craig, you said you wanted to go next?
Yeah, I can. I guess if we're just going down the timeline, all the way up until college, I mean, I played sports every day of my life, except for, actually I did it then too, because I helped out with a basketball team, and so I did all the like workout stuff that they did as well, any running, lifting, and stuff like that. So it was like all the way up until then, dude. And even that summer played a lot of like softball and stuff with different people. And then got to college, and then that's when Burke and I found each other, and we found like the other person that likes Halo campaigns as much as the other person. Yeah. And Burke, you got me fat that semester as well.
Wait. I was saying, who are we blaming here? Because he blamed you blamed him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. Symbiotic relationship. I understand. You're literally venom in this situation. Okay. I see.
And then I remember coming back and getting a bunch of looks from a bunch of people, and I was like, oh, I don't want to see those looks again. It was like during Christmas time. I went to like a couple of the basketball games and whatever else, and I was like, I don't want to see those again. So I went back and I started playing basketball almost every single day when I got back, and then like lost all the weight that I had gained pretty much all the way up until then. I started working. Doing like road work for a city in Michigan, and that kept me like, I was just in the heat constantly, and I was shoveling asphalt and doing other things along those lines. It wasn't like absolutely crazy, because half the time I'd have to be the one driving the truck instead of actually doing the work at the same time. So it was like half and half. But then I was playing a ton of softball during that time, and then I moved back And that's when we got onto our we started playing Halo a whole lot, Brian. All of us back home. And that's when kind of like all working out kind of seemingly ceased, except for like summer softball leagues and stuff like that, and maybe a basketball league here and there and whatnot.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much it. And then the only other time I went back to work out was when I was in a very terrible mindset for about 5 months, where because I've repeatedly said going to the gym is like one of the most, not one of the most, but it's just I get super anxious and it's really uncomfortable and I don't like being there. And I get this like pressure in my chest when I go a lot. It has nothing to do with working out. It's like I walk in and it's just like, okay, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. It's super anxiety inducing for me or some reason. But during that time, that was so much better than the other feelings I was feeling. So I was like, I'm going to go there because that completely eliminates my thought process to sadder things. So I went and did that. And that's when I got that was the, as Burke was saying with him when he was doing the working out a ton, I'd go and run like, I think it was somewhere between 4 and 7 miles every single morning. And just lifted a whole lot.
That's legit.
And just lifted a whole ton because, like I said, it was just, that was a lot better than everything else going on at the time. So that's about the only time I got really ripped during that time. And then finally I met my wife and things got happy. And now I'm on the opposite end where I've been in the hospital for my health. So yay. Full circle.
But I mean, would you say that, I mean, based on, what you had said before and what you're saying now, it seems like you enjoy a lot more once, like Burke, that you enjoy more of a non-structured, more outdoor or slash, not necessarily outdoor, but like, sports setting for anything that you would like to do. You're not a big fan of like the idea of like being in a
I like
gym of
doing
any kind
the
because
workouts,
it's,
and I'm putting those in like air quotes. That are competitive. It's a sport. It's a whatever.
Yes.
I don't get off on the like, oh well, I can lift this much. I don't like the competing against myself thing very much, very often. Self competition isn't a huge thing for me. But I do like the competition against other people and other things, and
So can I ask a question about that? What if, and this is fictional world. Okay. Craig, you are on I don't know. I'm trying to think about what you actually, I would say a basketball league. Okay. You're on a basketball league through your work and you want to be a part of that. Would you be more inclined to workout / practice in your own time for that, or you just show up on like the mandatory stuff? Like, meaning like, would that be a motivating factor for you to do something if you had a goal in mind, like Burke was saying? Like, in other words, you wanted to be better on the team, or would you want to be better on the team, or you're just like, I am what I am.
I'd be more in the I am what I am, but I would enjoy the competition portion of it. That I wouldn't think about it being like a workout. If it was a basketball league, I'd be running up and down the court. My legs would be getting my hamstrings and quads would be roasted from trying to get down in a defensive position that my body is not ready for right now.
Yep.
I would have all that, and it would be fun because like that would tie back to the competition I had, and not the hour and a half of my life I'll never get back when I was at the gym.
Exactly, and that's what I was asking about. That's why, okay,
like,
that makes sense.
So going along with that, like I played soccer not this last season, but a summer, in a summer league here, and it was full field, and to get ready for it, I started running. I didn't run much, but I was like, if I don't, I am going to die. Because I know how soccer is.
It's like very,
Like, and even as a goalie, because I play goalie because I am fat and I don't like running.
Play goalie?
Yeah.
Why would you let somebody kick a ball at your face? That sounds awful.
Oh, because he has the reflexes to not let it hit him in the face. Same thing with pitchers. Don't catch it most of the time.
I don't mind. Like, I love like seeing people charge at me, and I'm not a small guy. I will charge at them too and try to make a save. Yeah, just because it's fun. Yeah. It's stupid. Yes, it hurts, but like I love that competition. It just gets me into it. So like because of that, like yes, I started running. I didn't run much, but I ran. Worked out a little bit, and then once I started playing, I was like, okay, I'm good. Like I hit a level where I was like, okay, I'm not getting winded. Every time I take a step, like I'm good. Like once I reach a point where I'm confident, I'm like, yeah, okay. But yes, so I do get motivated in that way.
Okay. What about then let's kick it over to Michelle then. Michelle, what's your experience in this area?
So growing up, I couldn't really play sports because my dad lived too far away from like where I lived with my mom, and I would have to go to his house like every weekend and 6 weeks out of the summer, and our summer was only 9 weeks long. And so it was too far away to participate in any sports because being gone that much, you miss half the practices, half the games, and things like softball, you miss, a ton of this season and stuff like that. So I didn't really get to play a lot of sports growing up. And when in college, I started using their fitness center a little bit, not too seriously. But plus I was like walking around campus all the time too. And then I got jobs in retail where I'm on my feet all day. Like, people are like, well, that doesn't count. But like, I'm running around a store for 9 hours. Like,
no, it counts.
It's pretty, and I've always been I get colds and stuff, but like, I've been a really healthy person otherwise. Like, I've been really lucky. And so like, for me, it's never been like, well, like, I've reached a good balance where I am happy with what I do, and it's like I don't care about anything else because and the thing is too is like I see these people like spend so much of their life doing this, and it's great for them if it makes them happy, but for people who it doesn't even make them happy but they just do it because they feel like they should, I'm like, you're still probably gonna die relatively close to the same age I'm going to. And you're gonna be like, I shouldn't have spent my whole life like stressing about this. Like, I know there's people that genuinely enjoy it, but I feel like people need to kind of relax a little bit and think about like the good reasons why they're doing it, because it should never be for anybody else.
So I could see the people that are like in the case of when I was doing it, where I'm not going there because I enjoy it or like I have a goal in mind or anything like that, but for odd reasons here or there, like I said, for what I was doing, or like you were saying, Michelle, like doing it for someone else or for something else that really doesn't bring you personal happiness. I could see where that would be an overall kind of like a net, not a net negative, but a net like either a wash or really it doesn't tip the scales too much. Obviously I can see if the person enjoys it or they're like, hey, this is bringing me towards their goal, like it's going to be a positive overall for them down the road. But yeah, I could see where the person, it's just they're not into it and it's really for the wrong reasons. I could see that being a potential negative. That's what it comes into for me, like, especially this time of year when everyone's making New Year's resolutions to start doing it. And it's like, I'll see people that are like, yeah, I got to go to the gym because, I still have 2 pounds of baby fat left. And I'm like, who cares? Like, that's not... Well,
yeah, those people don't last at the gym.
No, and I know they don't, but I'm saying, but the reason they don't last is because they don't have the right reason.
Yes, I would agree with you, and that's one of my favorite games to play this time of year is find the new guys and take bets on which one drops out, the first, and which one hangs on the longest. Because you always see like turnover time. This is the worst time to be a person who goes to the gym on a regular basis. Just so you guys know,
I'm sure it is.
It's a nightmare. I hate January and February. Like it's awful. You literally just like every machine is taken and all that stuff, and by people who literally you're not going to see in a month. And you're like, I get it. New year, new you, and all that stuff. And I appreciate your efforts. Like, but like, if that person keeps showing up, I'm like, totally justified. You're fine. But if they leave in a month, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. And my thing is for those people too, it's like, why don't you just like walk or run around your neighborhood first before you spend the money to invest in a gym membership?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Jumping into the gym first is not a. And especially if you don't have any sort of like either guide or experience in that area, it's. You don't have to look far inside of a gym for somebody who's willing to tell you what to do in there or offer to help, but that doesn't mean it's always good advice. Like,
yeah, that was actually one of my things was like, I did join a gym for a while and I went pretty consistently, but the thing is like, for the most part, I was like, I don't actually know if anything I'm doing is actually helping. so I was talking to it about somebody I know who's like really into fitness, and she gave me a gift card for like 3 sessions with like her personal trainer, and like
that's fantastic.
I learned a lot about things that I should be doing.
Sure.
And I would have stayed on, except then I found out how expensive it was, and I nearly had a heart attack, and I was like, oh. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say stick with the personal trainer.
I had no idea like how much her gift certificate must have been worth, way more than I thought it was, because he was like, yeah, I'll cut you a deal and it'll be like $60 a week for the 45-minute session. And I'm like, yeah.
Well,
that's rent.
Yeah.
That's like it was so much money. I was like, that's more than I pay in like rent. Like it was just insane. But I did learn a lot. And I did learn little things that help. And more importantly is like diets are a part of this. I feel like a lot of people tie them in. Everyone's joining gym memberships right now, and everybody's starting whatever diet they're looking at. And the thing is a lot of people with diets, like every time you turn around, oh, this diet's amazing. 2 months later, well, it actually sucks, and it's just things are constantly changing. And I feel like no one actually knows what they're talking about. But what I learned from this trainer was like, he gave me a list of things, and he's like, look, you can literally eat whatever you want, just do it in these proportions. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you
everything.
Like, don't eat bread, like some people are like people will crucify you for eating bread,
Carbs!
Right now. But then if you actually know what you're talking about, people would be like, no, eat bread, just eat this good bread and not a lot of it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, professional runners will eat pasta, and it's like, oh my God, you eat pasta? That's all carbs. It's like, well, yeah, but I need carbs for running, and it's good for my body. And
I learned when it's good to eat things too, and that helped too, because like I do still follow that to this day, and this has been a couple years now, where he was like, before you go to work, that's when you should eat things like pasta or peanut butter toast or things that are considered bad for you, but will give you the energy to get through work. And then at this time of day is when you should eat this. And like, so that's helped a lot too. So I'm just a generally healthy person, and I'm fairly happy for it.
Yeah. And that's the way to be. That's pretty legit. And
so I shouldn't go get my pizza for dinner. Is basically what you're saying.
I don't care what you do. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just
eat that for breakfast. Okay,
I mean, I couldn't go run or anything without dying, but like. I can.
Without dying,
yeah, someone's like, hey, like, a couple years ago, my stepdad and I, probably been a few years now, went up to northern Michigan and hiked the Tequamanom Falls. It's like a 4.5 mile hike, and like most people wouldn't jump into that, but like I can get through it. I'm not running it, but I can get through it without like wanting to kill myself.
I'm gonna jump back just a little bit to what Michelle was saying earlier with the whole like diets and what we'll call some of them as fad diets and other things like that.
Yep.
I'm sure half the people, I'll say half, I'm just going to make it an easy 50-50. I'm not actually going to go into real percentages. Half the people probably are right, where they're like, dude, this is the sickest diet. This is awesome. And then there's another half over here. They're like, oh, this is this diet. Well, whatever. We'll say 10%. 10% say this, 10% say that. And I'm sure, but for anybody that is listening, it all depends upon your personal body chemistry and your personal habits. Like, it's so much there. I would say, yes, go through. I mean, obviously don't go too nuts, but if you can't find something that works, just keep trying different things, because you're going to find something that does work. Everybody's body is completely different from the types of exercises that their body will actually burn things off with, the type that your mental capacities allow you to do. Like me, I can't do the workout thing. Brian loves going to the gym and just doing that. I have to be competitive. Like you just have to find the thing that really works out for you.
And my main point with it, and even the trainer's main point with it is like, he's like, nobody should go through and crucify you because you like had a bad day and ate a Snickers bar. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yes, a bad day and a Snickers bar.
No. See, okay, no. Hold on. Time out. That's actually a good point though, because like, oddly enough, I am like, as much as I'm a person who likes sweets, right? Like if you present some sort of cake or like ice cream in front of me, I'm going to consume that cake or ice cream. But on the flip side of it, if you literally put like a bag of mini Snickers in front of me, I won't touch it. And the reason is because I'm like there's something in my brain that just says, why bother? Like, I'm going to pop it in my mouth. I'm not going to be full. It's literally just an empty calorie anyway. Like, you know, do I eat Snickers? Maybe, you know, like every once in a while, but it has to be like, literally, it's not something I will ever just reach for or eat in mass. You know what I mean?
And see, it's funny because you could do the exact opposite. You could put a tub full of ice cream in front of me and I'd go, yeah. Like, ice cream doesn't call to me at all.
Oh, see, yeah, like for me, like I don't have a big sweet tooth. I love ice cream and I love Reese's Pieces or the candy bars, whatever. Like outside of that, you put anything else in front of me, like you could put like a cake baked by blah blah blah, some famous person. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. I don't care. Like, I'll have a bite and be like, yeah, that tastes good. Like it doesn't, you know, which is, I guess, a good thing. But like for me, like I've learned my body. Like I know what I can lose weight on. Like I've tried keto. I've tried, you know, no carbs. Like, yeah, I lost a lot of weight. I didn't really like it. I like my carbs. Like I can lose the same amount of weight eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for every freaking meal. Yes, I would get sick of it. But it's all, for me, it's all about, keeping that in that calorie count.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
So
makes sense.
Yeah. And, yes, I know that's not the healthiest, but it's good. I grew up on it and it's nostalgic and I love it.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So, yeah.
And like, I'm not, like, for example, one of the things that I do wrong is I'm not a big snacker. Like, some people snack all the time and you're supposed to have like a bunch of little meals throughout the day or whatever. Like, for me, I am all about 2 to max 3 meals a day, but they're all substantial meals, which is not what you're supposed to do at all. Like, that is every person in the world will tell you that is the wrong way to go about it.
Yep.
That would make me throw up, dude. Like, when I see the meals that you used to go through, like when we lived together and whatnot, you're I'm going to have this chicken and then this vegetables and then these potatoes and then this. I'm like, I'll do the chicken now. I'll do the potatoes in an hour. I'll do the vegetables in an hour after that. Like,
it's a mound of food.
Today, Sarah and I went out to get lunch today. I literally I got it was an enchilada supreme, so it's 4 enchiladas, like one of each type. I literally, over the course of 4 hours, ate 1 enchilada each time. I was like, I'll eat this enchilada now, and like that. But that also hurts me really bad because one of my biggest things is like chips and things like this, like the real snacky, like grab my hand in. So it's playing a game. Oh, I died. Oh, grab a handful of whatever it is, throw it in my mouth, chew while I start playing the next life or whatever. Like that.
Sure.
That kind of fits right in with my, like, I don't like eating a ton all at one time. I like spacing it out, but spacing it out also can mean every 15 seconds, depending on what the item is.
Yeah.
So I am more on the Brian side. Like I'll eat 2 big meals, sometimes a breakfast, throw breakfast in there as well. Like I don't snack, and my wife's right the opposite. My wife's on the end of on the Craig spectrum, loves snacking. Like there was one time I did try that, like 5 meals a day, small, have little snacks. Yes, I lost weight. I hated it.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely hated it. I was like, dude, I feel like I'm eating all the fucking time, and I don't like that. Like if I have a snack, like I have sunflower seeds because they're so low calorie, and it I guess it satiates my my taste buds.
Yeah,
I tried.
So.
Yeah.
I like the smaller meals method. My problem is just with my inconsistent schedule that's really hard to follow. And it's like, I go to work, 8.5, 9 hours, and I'm like, I don't want to have to sit here and make 5 different meals. Like, even if they are little, to me, that's it's so time consuming. But I do feel better if I follow that method. It's just a really hard method to follow if you can't stick to it consistently.
And that was a huge thing when I was traveling for work all the time, because I was pretty much my entire life, adult life out of high school and whatnot. I was able to go through and eat basically whenever I wanted. And that's when I really got happy with going through and being able to eat things, or at least I just never had known beforehand, going to school, you can only eat at designated times. And so getting out of that, and you're like, oh, I can go through and I can eat like every hour and a half, every 2 hours, whatever I was doing at the time, like able to go through and do that. And then when I started working where I was traveling and I had to be like you were saying, Michelle, where I was on the floor for like 9 hours straight, 12 hours straight, and I could take 1 30-minute break to go in there and eat at one point. Like, holy crap.
You're gonna
my
stuff
body
your
was
face.
like, the entire time. You know, I'm like, so
You
I'm
ate like I eat.
yeah, and I'm trying to like sneak things back with me because I'm like, I get about a quarter of the way through it and I just feel sick because I'm like, I don't want to eat anymore. This is way too much at one time. And then I like can't eat it, so I have to take it back. And then people would be like, "Oh, you can't have that food with you here. You got to throw that away. You can't have it out on the floor." I'm like, "Fucking A, dude." And then an hour later, I'm like, "I'm starving. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die here. I'm literally. You're gonna come back, and it's just gonna be me on a bed with bones and like a shirt. That's all it's gonna be." Like it was. So I can't. Oh my gosh. And I can't even imagine going through and meal prepping. Like say like that was still what I'm doing and I'm doing it for years, where you have to like I had to go on the floor for 9 to 12 hours a day. And let's say they even let me bring the food out there, but like you want to do it somewhat healthy. So you're wanting to like meal prep it. So I'm spending like my entire fucking day off or something meal prepping for this. I'm like, oh, sweet. I guess I'm just not going to pay the rent this month or something because I had to meal like, oh my Lord, I can't even imagine like going through and having all that shit. Or like, you know, you're working 2 jobs and you just don't have the time. I can't fucking, nope.
Yeah, no, I only did that once. And it was many, many years ago. And it was too hard. But
my wife loves meal prepping.
yeah, some people do. I know. Actually, the guy who requested us to do the podcast is notorious for his meal prepping thing. Except for he orders it from online, and they send him the prepackaged meals so that he eats and heats up. But
That's
it is. Yeah, you can tell him that. So I just wanted to mention before we move on here what my situation was. So I know we kind of alluded to it, but just so everyone's kind of on the same page, I do run quite a bit, and I do go to the gym. I've been going to the gym since I've been 13 years old. My dad started me off by teaching me literally over the course of like what it would have been 8th and 9th grade. He taught me a little bit about lifting in our we have like a little storage unit thing, and he had some free weights and kind of taught me a little bit about that, and I started doing it there, and basically been doing it ever since. I think that I'm not on the spectrum of somebody who would be like hardcore, oh my God, go to the gym kind of thing by any stretch. Mainly because I do a lot of things my own way, meaning that I don't shake up my routine enough. I told you my eating is not correct kind of thing. So there's ways that I could, improve, but I just don't have that like, wow, I really want to bench a higher total kind of thing. I'm just kind of doing it because it's something that I enjoy, and it's a de-stressor mainly more than anything else.
What he means is that it's a part of his routine now, and he's not going to break it.
Pretty much. But the point is that even if it is part of my routine, it's a good part, and it helps me work out like if I'm frustrated or something like that, because there will be times where I'll like if I miss a few days of the gym in a row, like if I miss a certain number of days, I have like all this pent up energy, and I need to direct it. And if I don't direct it into something productive, like going to the gym, then it could result, in negative ways. So I like to kind of keep that, basically, to do it that way. But then I guess, beyond that, as I said, I think that the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway and the thing that I agreed with the most throughout the course of this is the motivation factor. I don't care if it is playing soccer, basketball, if you are wanting to be the most ripped guy in the world, whatever it is, if you want to do something physically and get active, have a motivating factor. Hell, make it an ex-girlfriend. I don't give a shit. There's a lot of reasons that you might want to go to the gym or to do some sort of physical activity, and getting out and doing it is the hardest part. The people who fail, and the reason that I mentioned this earlier about the people who do the holiday stuff, and they're like, oh, I got a gym membership for a whole month kind of thing. The reason that they fail is not for lack of trying. It's for lack of motivation and a reason to come back. And you need that reason. And it doesn't have to be always a grandiose thing. It could be something small. It could be something that anyone else could be thinking insignificant, but it might be your motivating factor. So, for example, let's just say that you said, "Hey, I want to do a cosplay, and I want my cosplay, and I want to look as close to Master Chief as I can get." Even though I'm in the armor, I want to be a guy who's kind of buff. And realistically, are you ever going to be a fictional character like Master Chief? No, but you can be damn near as close as you can get to it if you put your mind to it and have that as your motivating factor. So just pick your course, go for it, and that's all there is to it. I mean, that's the whole thing that'll keep you coming back every single time.
Fair enough. See, I got a puppy, and it makes me run. There's my motivation.
Beautiful. That counts. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be. It's whatever your thing is.
You know what I think? What time to run it is? I think it's this quiz time run.
Here's quiz time run.
Oh my god! Oh wait, hold on. Tricep, bicep, lats. Did I nail it? Am I 3 for 3?
Did not go that way. Did not go that way with this quiz. Sorry, Brian. So, I'm sorry about this quiz in advance. That's all I'm going to say. It's just
always strong when you open with an apology.
Yeah, I guess so. So we'll go with order for most of the night, or most of it will be Brian, Craig, and Michelle.
Okay.
So, all right. Question number 1: what is the fattest state in America for 2017?
Ooh, damn! I'm torn. I'm really torn. It's either Ohio or Minnesota.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I gotta pick one though. So we'll go with Ohio.
I'm gonna go with Alabama.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Alaska.
All right. It is actually correct. I'm gonna give Craig half a point. He was close enough. It was Alabama. I'm sorry. It was Alabama. Fucking it. Mississippi, right next to Alabama.
Okay.
Close enough. That's exactly what I said.
I'm like, yeah.
I said
you said
city.
the thing.
God
It's
damn
not,
it. Shit. Yeah. No. It is. Mississippi.
I want to say Alabama was like the years
wait.
two
Can
beforehand.
you spell it, Craig? Can you spell Mississippi for the full half point?
Mississippi.
Oh my God, he did. All right, fine. He earned it.
All right. He earned it. All right. What is the skinniest state?
Ooh, damn. Oh God, I have no idea.
I don't even know
California.
how to realistically judge this. I'm going to go with small sample size and say like Rhode Island.
I was actually following Craig's logic. Wyoming.
Ooh, Michelle gets half a point. It is actually Colorado.
Oh, wow.
What?
How's
No
that?
kidding.
I was
Even
about
with
to
all
say,
that
with
weed.
all the munchies going on, I highly doubt now.
So I knew that would probably come up, and I actually heard a stat that, like, honestly, like if you drink versus if you smoke weed, yes, you get the munchies when you smoke weed sometimes, but the caloric intake is about the same because
Also, you get the drunchies. It's called the drunchies.
yeah,
Same thing.
and alcohol has calories.
Yep.
So yeah. So it actually, smoking weed, you actually consume a little bit less on the caloric side with the munchies. It's very interesting. Okay. So now going along the same theme, I chose obviously my state where I live in is already been mentioned, but what is the rank of Tennessee on, from obviously like 1 to 50 of, fattest versus skinniest? Number 1 would be obviously Mississippi, and Colorado would be 50. So where does Tennessee lie on that scale of
And let me guess,
fatness?
Michigan and New Jersey are the next
obesity?
two.
Of course they are.
I'm gonna guess it's 15.
I'm going to go with 4.
I'm gonna go with 40.
Okay. All right. So are you saying 40 for like being fattest or
40 is
skinniest?
on the list, so I guess it would be on the skinnier side.
Okay. Is actually number 3.
Oh,
Knew it was up there.
jeez.
Knew it was up there.
So Craig gets the point for that one. Yeah.
The South has
Wow.
a lot of fat states.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think
I would've-
Texas.
I mean, I'm from the Midwest, and so I assume the Midwest owned like.
No, I think.
I think that was a
It's from the Midwest
stereotype
too, but you
and
know what
not
I mean.
fact.
No, I am, and I'm probably going to ruin myself maybe for later. I think Texas is like one of the only southern states that's not like, wow, you need to get a hold of yourself. Well, and Florida, but I don't consider Florida part of the South.
Let's see. Texas is actually 11.
See, that's almost halfway. That's almost mid-range. Like the rest of them, like are fucking
Yeah, well,
top 10.
Well, and I think Houston's one of the fattest cities anyway. So yeah, because no one wants to go outside. Question number 4 is, what is Michigan on the list?
15. I'm gonna keep going 15 till it's right.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 2.
I'm gonna go with 26th.
All right. Brian is on the board with 1 point. It was number 18.
Whoop, whoop.
Number 18. And of course, where is New Jersey on the scale?
I'm actually gonna say 32.
Okay.
For some reason, I feel like they're going to be lower on there. They do a lot of exercise with the fist bump and everything else.
Come on, bro.
Brian, that was the exact number I was going to go with, so I'm trying to figure out a way not to screw you. So I'll go with 39.
I'm gonna say 20th.
All right, Craig is going to get the point. It is 45. So it's
God
actually
damn, good for see.
top 5 basically.
I mean, their motto is GTL. Jim. It starts with Jim.
Okay.
Man.
So shifting gears, I've got 2 true or false questions next. True or false? Exercise boosts your brain power.
True.
True.
It is, in fact, true. And there's a bunch of explanations I can go to, but I don't care that much. But yeah. And then true or false? Stretching helps your body recover faster.
True.
I'm going to go with false because you're actually tearing fibers. And so when you stretch, you're actually strengthening still because you're tearing things down just like you would any other lifting. So I'm going to say it kind of does the same thing where it just delays things by a little bit.
I'm also
But it's
going
still
to
good for you.
go with false.
So the report I read says it actually does help. It
Yes.
does help with recovery.
That's why they always say stretch beforehand. That's not why they say that, but it could be.
All right. So changing gears again, and this is, I actually changed up the order of my quiz last second because we were talking about, being healthy and food and whatnot. So I figured I'd go with fattest and skinniest, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
So now comes the scary part of my quiz. Y'all ready?
Uh-oh.
Okay. In the 2008 Beijing Olympics, Jason B, because I'm not going to attempt to say his name, or I'll try to say it, Baranai. Yeah, sure. Dislocated his elbow, lifting 148 kilograms, or 326 pounds. What country was he representing? from I'll give you in Europe.
Belgium.
The state of pain. Oh my God. Let's go with Germany.
I'm going to say England.
It was actually Hungary.
Hungry.
Okay.
All
right. In the 2016 Rio Olympics, Andranik, an Armenian, lifted 195 kilograms, 429 pounds over his head. But he dropped the weight over behind his head because what happened to his left arm?
Oh God, no.
And I watched all these videos. It was bad.
He broke it. He snapped it. I'm sure.
I'm going to go with that. There was a massive muscle tear in his... let's go with we'll go with like his arm, but if I had to go specific, I'd say we'll say there's a massive tear like in a bicep.
Okay.
His shoulder popped out.
I'm going to give Michelle half a point. It was actually his elbow that dislocated and literally turned backward. It was awful. It was awful.
I just threw up a little bit.
Yeah, it was as I said, the bad part of the quiz. Okay? In a 2014, and this might be there's the next two probably are the worst ones. In 2014, a CrossFit athlete, it was in a competition. His name was Kevin, was lifting how much weight when it's obviously not the Olympics, it's CrossFit. Okay, just giving y'all some hints here.
Yeah, gotcha.
How much weight was he lifting? And he was lifting it above his head. Dropped down onto his spine.
Jesus. Any weight's too much to do this, but if it's a CrossFitter, and do we know his age? It's fine.
I would say in his 20s or 30s, not too
20s or 30s. CrossFitters usually aren't the most bulky, lifting weight over their head, so I'm going to say it's only like 215.
I'm going to say for a CrossFitter, something heavy for them would be like 13 pounds.
Got him. I'm going to go with 180.
If we were doing Price is Right rules, Michelle would have gotten it, but it was 210 pounds. Brian hit it almost right on the head, so Brian's getting that point.
Hell yeah.
200.
Yes.
And unfortunately, he is now paralyzed and is working on recovery. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
what?
he got paralyzed from it.
No, this is a happy fun time quiz.
No, it's not. No, it's not. All right. The first part was fun. Maybe I should have left the other stuff first.
No, I think this is an important lesson and why it's important to know what you're doing and why you're doing it, and not just haphazardly do things.
Yeah, and that was kind of the point, you know. All right, so here's another one. Kyle Thompson, and luckily I didn't see this video, was a 22-year-old who was benching how much weight with a spotter. When he failed to lift the weight, his muscles failed and dropped it onto his neck, and unfortunately led to his death in December of last year, of 2016, not 2017.
God. I'm gonna say he was trying to hit through, and he's 20 something. You said 22.
And he was bench pressing. Yep.
22-year-old bench pressing. God, I can't imagine him pushing more than 315.
Oh, you took the exact number I was going to say, so I'm going to go with 285.
250.
Wow, Brian, you get 2 points.
Yeah.
315.
Yay.
Damn it, I should have
Exactly
stuck
on the
with
head.
it. I was just like, okay, I'm just going to go with like probably 3 plates then. That's a, that,
Yeah.
And so I
That's
went
what I
down
want.
50.
Yeah, that's how
I just went down or not 50. I went down like a plate size.
Yeah.
Fun fact for everybody. That is, I can't do it now, but the highest I ever benched was 315.
Wow.
That's actually, yeah, that's, and I did it with no shirt, no nothing like that. And it was listening to Ninja Sex Party's
FYI,
song Unicorn Wizard.
FYI, just for everybody else that's listening to this that doesn't understand Brian's thing, he wasn't saying he was benching with no shirt on. He's benching without a bench press shirt. There's specific shirts for bench pressing that can help
bench press
rebound.
shirt. Yes. I didn't have any sort of assists or wrist wrap or anything else like that.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I guess
it
it
was
would make
confusing
sense.
for
That
me. I
should
was like, thanks for
explain
that random fucking detail, Brian. I'm imagining you shirtless now, like kind of like Brandon Thigh Master.
No, you just asked for that. I'll give you that anytime you need it.
Okay. Question number. Oh crap! Did I miss a question? Whatever. Who cares? The next question.
The next one.
Sure. I think I.
Question the next.
Okay, sure. I must have misnumbered. Okay, what should you never do when using a leg press machine?
What should you never do
when using a leg press machine?
Oh, put your hands on the track.
I think that's probably one of them, but I think
that's probably one of them.
Michelle, you go next. I think I've got this one.
I don't know how to describe it properly, but like don't stretch your spine and back out.
Oh, wait.
I think he's looking for lock your legs. Don't lock your knees.
That's what it is. That's what it
that
is.
leads to hyperextension, and that's not fun. Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yep.
Don't. I don't want to know. I know what you're about to say. I want to save it. Like I literally will get physically ill if you tell the story of how. Yeah.
Okay. I won't. There was a girl, but that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. But I gave you half a point, Brian, because that was a good answer. It was a legit answer.
Yeah.
So, but Craig's getting the full point on that one. Oh, yes. Okay. So this question is kind of my, I guess, in between, like question, a question that I couldn't find the exact answer, but it was the most common. So when I was looking up common weightlifting injuries, this one was on every list and somewhere towards the top.
Okay.
So what is the most common weightlifting injury? Like what part of the body, wrist, arm, shoulder, legs, back, something.
I'm going to have to say shoulder, honestly.
Okay.
That has to be my no, wait. Is it weightlifting injury or workout?
Just weightlifting in general,
and shoulder. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go different than Brian. I'm going to say it's a core injury, like some kind of stomach muscle.
I'm going to go with bruised ego.
No.
Half a point to Michelle.
Cheering that one.
That was good. It is Brian was correct. It is the shoulder injury.
Yeah. Had you said it was a cardio, if cardio was included, I was like, no, it's going to be the knees. But for weightlifting, it's shoulder.
Okay. Big. This guy's name was Brian Bach, but he was also known as Big Brian Bach. I'm sure. Was doing squats when his leg gave out. He was lifting. Let me just say a lot. Like it didn't say how much weight, but I saw at least 7 or 8 plates on each side of the bar. It was ridiculous. How many bones did he break in his leg doing the lift?
I don't even know how many bones are in the leg, but I'm going to go ahead and assume at least 4.
This is going to be stupid. Is it just leg, or are we including foot in the?
Just leg, not foot.
I'm gonna go with 2.
Okay.
I want my answer to be all of them, but I don't know how many there are. 7.
Okay. I'm gonna give it. I'll just give half a point to both Brian and Craig because they split it. It was actually 3. He broke his femur.
Yes, the one I was assuming that I was assuming that was the one that stayed.
No, he broke his femur and then both of the twisting bones on the shin.
All right. Before we go any further,
I watched the video. Oh God, it just
talking to the person who actually asked us to do this one and requested it. This is one of the reasons I don't do that exercise anymore. So I'm just no. He always asks me, "You should do this in deadlift." I hurt my back. It's deadlifting, and if I squat, I hurt everything else. So no, I'm done. This is why
Squat's the only thing I would probably go back and do still. Because it's basically like me just getting up from my chair anyway.
Fair enough. So yes. So we'll go through point totals, and Brian, of course, wins because he actually does work out.
Oh wait, what? For real? No. Normally it's the guy who knows nothing about the subject that wins it. That's why I was expecting to get dead last on this one.
Yeah, you won with 8, Brian.
Yay! Go me!
Greg comes in second with 5, and Michelle in last with 2.5 points.
This is a very exciting day for me.
I know. So, I just wanted to say, obviously, the moral of the story is just don't work out and you won't get injured.
Yeah, there's no way you're possibly going to get injured from working out if you don't work out.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it.
Oh, man. When I was looking up, some of the last half of the questions that I was talking about, man, watching some of the videos, I was just like,
I'm glad you didn't make us watch the videos.
No,
I would have taken a 0 on every question.
I would have left the podcast. I'd have been like, yep, I'm out. See you guys.
Yeah, it was. Some of them were just brutal, and I remember watching like one of the Beijing or Rio Olympics like live, watching it and seeing his stuff. I was like, oh no.
Nope.
Yeah, it's just bad.
Nope. Nope. At no point. Nope. I about lost it during the leg press machine one. So nope. I'm out. Nope. I'm done. Nope.
Yeah, I'm actually like dead serious. I'm not joking. I'm actually kind of queasy from the leg press one because I know what video and I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And like as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, like literally, I'm not kidding. My stomach actually feels like it's flip flopping right now. It's not good. That was. Oh no, Craig, did you look it up?
No, I've seen it way before.
Oh, okay.
Today.
Okay.
I just am thinking about it. And
I looked over at your face and you had the same
that
look.
That was the one video I did not watch, the leg press one, because when I read it, I was like, nope,
don't.
Just not. That's the one I'm not watching.
I got baited into it once. Nope. Do not do it. Do not do it.
No.
So everyone, if you want to look this up, just Google bad workout accidents and go dunk on yourself or something. Because it's bad.
Just don't dunk on yourself. No,
don't
do it.
No,
we're not doing it. We're not doing it.
This week, in honor of the people who got injured, no one gets dunked on.
No one. There's no dunking.
No dunking.
Burke, you brought this up. You got dunked on.
Oh.
Get dunked on. Burke.
The podcast.
Get dunked on.
I got it. I think I got it.
You're dunked on. No, see, what you're doing is you were playing in the paint. You're playing way too deep. So you're in the zone where there's no charging anymore. You're in that little half circle. And you got dunked on. I don't know if you knew this, but you definitely got dunked on.
Like, somebody should make a podcast.
Dunked on.
I'm a motherfucking babe. I'm a motherfucking babe. I'm a motherfucking babe.
You definitely got dunked on.
Somebody should make a podcast.
Dunked on.
Speaking of which, go to Get Dunked On at Twitter to send messages. For real though, please. We do view requests.
Please love us.
Welcome to Walmart. I love you.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
That's it, Costco. Shit, I'm sorry.
Get dunked on.
Get dunked on. I guess I just got dunked. How many shitty Get Dunked Ons can we do in a row?
A lot. We all got dunked on.
And that's a wrap.
So,
we're done.
Refusing to
We're
be
done.
a part of this.
No, we're done.
Meaning that she just got dunked on.
Your silence got dunked on.
Craig, you're left. No. One more. No.
Pork's got dunked on.
Pork's got dunked on? Jesus Christ. Are we really opening that?
I'm a motherfucking babe. I'm a motherfucking babe. I'm a motherfucking babe. I'm a motherfucking babe. I'm a motherfucking babe.
Laugh, bitches.